was on the original faculty, one of the original faculty members at South Gwinnett. I remember that very well and fondly. Mr. Victor Knight was the principal. I want to tell one cute story about Mr. Knight. This was back during the days when a lot of people didn't think folks ought to dance. Well, the kids wanted to have a dance after the football season. Mr. Knight agreed to have the dance, but he said he didn't want to do any of those modern dances. And well, this was about the time the twist, and I don't know what else. But somebody said, well, Mr. Knight, why do you don't want the kids to do the twist? He pondered the question a little bit, and he finally said, well, it just doesn't seem to be very uplifting. I don't recall whether the kid did the twist or not, but they did have the dance.
Coach Brett, Jack Brett, asked me if I would do the filming for the football games. And I said, sure, I'll be glad to do that. We had a field house that was about 10 feet off the ground. And so you didn't really get much of a picture. You got pretty much of a flat picture. And the first film I had 400 feet to film with. And it takes at least 800 feet to film a football game. So we didn't get any of the kickoffs or the punts, or any of the, very few of the penalties. You started it when the ball was snapped and you stopped it when the whistle blew. So you didn't get a whole lot. I don't know how you ever graded those films. But gradually we built up to where we had enough film and enough sponsors that we could buy 800 feet of film. And gradually the field house grew a little bit. And when Bobby Johnson became head football coach, he wasn't very happy with the height of the film area. So he talked E.R. Snell Construction Company in putting a platform that was about 6 feet wide and about 6 feet square up on a light pole, which was right on the sideline of the football field. The way we had to get up there was climb the pole over the foot pegs, drop a rope over the edge, tie it to the box that the camera was in, and pull it up. I still have that rope.
The fun things were supervising games. The not fun things were supervising the lunchroom. Mr. Rickard was very good at that. You could always count on Mike Rickard to be in the lunchroom. We all had assigned days, but of all of us, he was probably the only one that consistently did it every day. And he would sometimes say, I think you missed your day. And I knew I had, but he took care of it. He handled it. Working with the three principals that I did, I worked with Dolores Hendricks when I came to South, and I had known Dolores from Brookwood High School. I worked with Bobby Krausen, and I worked with Barry Simmons. All three of them were great leaders. They trusted me as well as the other administrators enough to give us a job and let us do it and not try to micromanage, which we all appreciated. That they appreciated our expertise in whatever area we were in. It was more of a family and more of a camaraderie than any school that I know about. It was a close-knit group. We all cared about each other, and still to this day, we do. I have a group of 87 retirees that get together about 3 times a year. And it's so much fun to catch up on memories because we knew each other's families.
You know, it's odd how memory strikes you when you're in charge of a school. And in charge, I don't mean you control it, but you're responsible for the school. One of the strongest images that comes back to me is the shooting at Columbine. When it first started, these things happening at school that were tragedies, Columbine changed the atmosphere in high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools overnight. We needed to be able to tell parents and make students feel that it was safe coming to school. So we had to come up with a plan. How do you do that based on those killings and shootings at Columbine High School? Snellville police came to this building every morning for weeks after that and searched the building with a dog. 3 assistant principals and I got here at 4 in the morning and searched the entire campus, not because we believed that there was anything there, but we had to be able to tell parents and students that we were doing everything in our power to make sure that they were safe coming to school. It is so unbelievable how that one day changed the feeling of parents and students about their schools and changed the complexity of the job of being a leader in a school and creating one more thing that you had to be responsible for. So that's one of the strongest memories that I have. Another, and I hate for it to be another tragedy, but the day of 9/11, the first 9/11, I got back to South Gwinnett High School not knowing anything about what was going on, just in time to see the second plane hit the Twin Towers. We had the TV on in the main office, and we sat there and watched that happen live. My heart in my throat seeing that happen. We knew that this was a moment in history that would change the way we look at the world. We didn't know what was happening yet, but we knew something significant was happening. Those were the things that happened. Strongest memories, not pleasant memories, but strong, indelible images of my life at South Gwinnett High School. Not nearly as much fun as opening the new football stadium, but you know, it was part of our life.
Fast forward, and you had some students who came and said, listen, we like our band, but we want to change our band. And so the more I listened and talked to parents, the more we realized that we wanted to change the style of our band. I'm a graduate of Morehouse College, and so I'm used to historically black colleges and the band style. And so I'll never forget the first night, the first football game, when our band with that new style stepped on the field with the drum majors and the young ladies in their dancing outfits. And one of the exciting things for me that year is after the game, and when our teams would win and our band would serenade them over in the corner of the stadium. And it was just that celebratory moment for those football players with the band playing the songs that they like to listen to on the radio. Very, very powerful moments. You think about what students do after school. And I remember being very adamant about students leaving the building after school ended, but they didn't want to go. And so that is where we launched the after school program. And I was so grateful to Snellville United Methodist Church and really all of the churches, the Presbyterian Church Westminster, and also First Baptist Snellville, for partnering with us to launch that after school program. It was great opportunity for students to learn, to grow, and to really make sure that they were in a safe place after school.